Stay tuned as we check out this Marvel Legends infamous Iron Man. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today, of course, another Marvel Legends review as we're taking a look at this infamous Iron Man. Not too sure why it says Avengers on the front, as he was never a part of the Avengers, but nevertheless, it is of course Victor Von Doom. Now, this isn't no alternative reality or separate universe version of Victor Von Doom. This is the actual Doctor Doom that you all know and love, but he sort of had a change of heart and wanted to have a go at being a hero, and since Iron Man was sort of in a coma and couldn't do much about it, Victor Von Doom took on the mantle of Iron Man. So as I said, it's the same Victor Von Doom we all know, but after the events of the 2015 Secret Wars, when Reed Richards reset the universe, and that's how Miles Morales appears in the 616 and stuff, Victor was sort of given a second chance. He was given his looks back, and since he had failed at being a villain, he thought he'd give it a go at being a hero. And as I said, Iron Man was in a coma, so Victor Von Doom took on the mantle of Iron Man, stealing some of Tony Stark's armor. And then you get this mashup, which is quite a curious mashup, to be fair. And this figure looks decent, even though it is a reissue of another figure. It does make sense, as he is meant to be wearing the invincible Iron Man armor. So it's quite an accurate rendition of the character it's portraying from the comics. So for everyone complaining it's not the Victor Von Doom you want, well, of course not, because he's portraying a different character. So I reckon it's quite a decent and accurate rendition of the infamous Iron Man character. Hopefully we'll get another Doctor Doom by Hasbro down the line. I'm sure it will happen, but this rendition is definitely unique on itself. So worthy in your collection, I believe. Really like how they've given us that unmasked Victor Von Doom head as well, as he wasn't all scarred up during this storyline. We also get some effects as well, some interchangeable hands, and I'll get in comparisons and all that. So, as you can tell, no Who Is He segment, as I've sort of explained it at the start of the video. So let's get on with looking at the figure. So we've stared enough at the front of the box. On the back, we're getting a picture of the infamous Iron Man, and it says, once one of the world's most evil villains, Victor Von Doom has changed an alliance and assumes a new identity as the tech-powered hero Iron Man. And then of course he is not a part of any particular wave, so we don't get nothing on the back there. I believe in the US he is a Walgreens exclusive. Us in the UK, we don't have Walgreens, so I got mine from In-Demand Toys, but it's also on Kapow Toys, Comic and Cocktails, Star Action Figures, all of the good stuff. So enough rambling, let's get him open. And here we have Victor out of the box, and first impressions are, it's what I expected. It is the Iron Man figure we previously had with a new paint job, and he's now got a cape and a hood, which I'll get into in a minute. He does come with some nice accessories though that you can always reuse with other figures, some purple effects. These are those sort of very soft ones that you can sort of wrap around the hands and legs and sort of give energy effects to, I guess. I think we've got them with Storm and Magneto before, but I think these look pretty good in this sort of purpley pink. Definitely reused in some of your other Marvel Legends. He comes with some blasts that Iron Man always comes with, but these are again in the purple-ish colour, just to sort of give him his own unique look. And he does have peg holes in that arm, open hands, of course, and of course the feet, I believe. So yeah, you can mix and match there. Always like getting new accessories that demonstrate the powers of the figure. So always appreciative of that. Two interchangeable hands, again, so you can either have two fists or two open hands. And again, the open hands, should all know this by now, but the open hands have a giant hole in it that you can plug in the effects. Nice and simple. The fists, however, just the fists. But yeah, so you get a set of each essentially. And then the last accessory is the interchangeable head for Victor Von Doom. Now, as I said, based on the comics, he was all scarred up, but in this particular storyline, when the universe was reset, he got his looks back. So this is Victor Von Doom, and it does seem like a unique face sculpt as well. It's not just a repainted Peter Parker or anything like that. It does seem like a unique head. So yeah, can't complain like that. And we'll see how that looks on the figure in a minute. So in regards to the actual figure, and again, no Build-A-Figure piece as he doesn't come part of any wave. The hood is a separate piece. I mean, the cape is a separate piece. And annoyingly, it's got no peg hole. So it just sort of sits on the back of the figure, which you sort of have to put it under the hood. I don't know, it's a little bit frustrating because the cape is a separate piece, but the hood is stuck on the head. So you can't actually take the hood off the head. So I guess I could rip it off and peel it off, but then I'd ruin the head. So it does seem to be glued on there. So when you're actually putting the head on the figure, it's great for articulation because you can move the head and it moves with the hood, which is great. It's what everyone wants. But now the cape is a little bit more frustrating. So let me pull the camera back out a little bit and pull it up and you can see what I mean. So there's nowhere for the cape to plug in. So you sort of have to just maybe put the cape on first. To put the cape on first so it sort of sits around the neck, then plug on the head so the cape gets sort of wedged under the hood. And then that works that way. But as soon as you start posing them around, it's not going to work very well. So it looks good, don't get me wrong. It's just I like how they've given us, the head can articulate with the hood, but the cape just a little bit unstable. It stays on, but, oh, well, there you go. There's an example. It doesn't stay on great. So that's a little bit frustrating how the cape is made so it just sort of rests on his shoulders. But if I move that out the way, it's a nice enough cape, nice texture, dark green, made of a soft plastic, of course. Now this figure, again, frustrating that the hood doesn't come off. It's just stuck on the helmet. The figure is the same as the Iron Man one before. So if I zoom in, you can see this arc reactor bit is actually sculpted where the extra bits I've added are actually just painted on. Or decals or something. So those two extra ones are not sculpted, but the rest is the same sculpt from the Iron Man figure. And the Iron Man figure was a good figure. So this is a decent base body. And as I said, Victor did steal the infamous Iron Man armor from Tony Stark. So he should be wearing the same armor. He just give it his own paint job. And there we have some nice sculpting on the back as well. A little bits of green, little hints of green, just to obviously give it the Doctor Doom flavor. And he's even got the reactors on the wrists, sort of look like they're the quantum realm watches, don't they, a little bit. And then again, if we have a look at the face, you can see the green eyes on the mask, sort of hidden in the shadows of the hood. So I just wish you could take the hood off. And usually we're usually moaning, we're never happy, are we? But I don't know, maybe they could have had at least a hole in the back so you can plug the cape into. But we can get it to work. So again, no Who Is He segment for this guy. I have done a Who Is He segment for Doctor Doom in the past when I did a rerun review. So that's probably a good opportunity to bring in this guy. So what I have here is the Doctor Doom that everyone knows and loves. This is the Epic Heroes Doctor Doom. Now we got this in two colours. We got it in white from the Future Foundation and the green. I had them both at one point, and if you go and watch my rewind review, I'll put up a link up there. I do a full Who Is He segment on Doctor Doom, and I sort of show off the Epic Heroes green and white, but I never open the white because this is the more classic looking Doom for me. And maybe Hasbro will give us an update of this guy. I know that's what everyone wanted, but if you can get hold of this figure, it still holds up pretty well on your shelf. Like, yes, we could probably get some better articulation these days, but the cape sits over the head. And then, of course, his helmet comes off to reveal the ugly Doctor Doom. And I'll compare him close up with the new Doctor Doom in a minute. But again, this had some good display options. Had a harness with a gun in it. I think his gun's still in it. I haven't took it out. Yeah, there you go. So the gun's still in it there. So, yeah, this Doctor Doom, this Epic Heroes Doom is definitely one of the better figures that Hasbro did when they sort of brought it back, Marvel Legends, and started off with the Epic Heroes. So if you can get hold of this guy, it's not bad, it still holds up. But here are your versions of Doctor Doom. So what do you think? Which one is your favourite? I think they look pretty good, to be fair. This one's like just a modernised Doctor Doom, evil Doom, trying to be good Doom. And yeah, it looked pretty good. But this guy is, of course, based off Iron Man. And that's who we've got right here. So this is the infamous, invincible Iron Man and the infamous Iron Man. So that's why the armors are the same, is because Doctor Doom stole Tony Stark's armor. He just gave it a paint job. So that's why these are the same figure. You can see the main differences are just the little extra lights on the front, but they're painted and they're obviously not on here. But they are the same figure. Even the helmet's the same sculpt. That one's just got a different paint job. So let me show you the Victor Von Doom head on this figure. So again, you're just going to have to get the cape to rest there, unless we want to just take it off for this part. But yeah, let me zoom in and show you them. So again, this review's a bit more freestyle. I'm not doing as much editing. I don't know if you can tell. I'm a bit busy this week. But there you go. There's Doctor Doom and Tony Stark. I like getting unmasked heads on figures. It seems like such a simple packing, but it changes your display options drastically. And sometimes I like displaying the actual character in his human form. Why not? Especially when we get multiples of different characters. It's nice to have those options. And if I move out Tony and bring in the old Doctor Doom for a minute and take off the cape and then take off his head, even though he's got a P head, you can see how scarred up that Doctor Doom is compared to the new one. Still, it looks like a sort of Deadpool, doesn't it? Still looks good though. So yeah, still high on the Epics Doctor Doom if you can get it, people. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, can this head come off? I was going to see if this head will come off and then we can put that head on there, but I don't want to break this. That might be a possibility. Someone let me know in the comments. Can you take that head and put it on there? I don't want to pull that too much and break it. But that might be an option, because then maybe you could put this cape on here. And it doesn't work, does it? Let's be honest. It's too gappy. I like the principle, but it's too gappy. But still, that's why we try. So there we have it, Doctor Doom. So obviously I have put the unmasked head on a Coulson body. I've just painted the tie, or attempted to paint the tie black. And yeah, so you can have a Victor Von Doom in his normal suit. And he was walking around just incognito because no one knew what Doctor Doom looked like. So while he was looking like a pretty boy, he did actually just wander around and no one even recognised him. So you can maybe hide this Victor Von Doom on your display in a suit. And it's what he did in the comics. I've just put those effects on him because he's still a powerful sorcerer. And then there is your Iron Man Doctor Doom. So a nice figure to display a very specific time in Victor's life during the comics. So I always appreciate that, especially when I read the comic. It always means a little bit more. I think if you've not read the comics and you're just thinking this is a Hasbro mashup, then you probably won't appreciate this figure as much as you should. It's a good storyline. Go and read it. It's not that old. It should be available online. I'm sure you would appreciate it. So yeah, you let me know what you think in the comments below of this figure. I'm sure it's popping up everywhere now. I've seen a lot of pictures on Instagram, and it's decent enough. I'm sure Hasbro will give us a classic looking Doctor Doom soon enough. But for now, this guy looks pretty good on the shelf, and you've also got your Victor Von Doom to wander around as well. But yeah, as always, people, go and check out the videos tab. Tons of Marvel Legends reviews. You know what this channel's about. And please, please, please hit that subscribe button. If you're still here at the end of the video, then all I can say is thank you. Much appreciated. And of course, I shall see you on the next one.